Hey everyone. So I know it's Christmas and you're probably maybe still celebrating or you're winding down from the celebration. The boys and I have something silly we're going to do this evening, and I hope it becomes a tradition. I don't know. When I tell you, you're going to be like, but why? Why would you do that? I don't know. One of them asked if we could, and we just kept kind of elaborating on it till we come up with the idea that so we're going to turn the heat way down. Like where it's kind of cool, I mean, we're not going to freeze each other. It'll be about 66, which is cold in a house, but that's the coldest it would be. 66 to me is cold in a house. Anyway, we're going to turn the heat down and watch movies, and we're going to get all the blankets and pile up on the couch, and so that you're so cold you don't want to get up to do anything. We're going to pop popcorn with M&Ms in it. By the way, if you have never tried it, the bomb. Pop popcorn. It's still warm. Pour in your M&Ms. They get a little melty. Oh, you got your sweet and salty. Couldn't ask for anything better. We picked that up on the way home. Some M&Ms from the gas station. Why not get that when you beforehand, where you don't got to pay $15 for a little bag of M&Ms? I don't know. But anyway, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch Christmas movies in the cold house. sounds sounds kind of dumb now that I'm saying it out loud. But anyway, that's our Christmas night plan. But I had to do a nod to my friend Anne and just make something out of this bag of Christmas wrapping paper. I I I know my stepmom thinks I'm crazy because I was picking up all these scraps today. Ooh, that one has a bell on it. And I said, "Can I have this?" And she's like, "Well, yeah, I have, full rolls if you want them." No, I don't want good paper. I want this. And she had the funniest look on her face. I know she thinks I'm crazy because I don't know, back in the summer or maybe even last year, I had her saving toilet paper rolls and paper towel rolls for me. And she gave me those today. Here's one of the buckets. I mean, seriously, look at this. It's like way too big to show on screen, but it's a Sterilite and it's huge. And not just this one, but she also gave me some of the, the aluminum toppers to like hot chocolate that I was making charms out of. And not just that bucket, but she gave me a long flat one. I don't even know how big it is. And I tell you, I was just as tickled to get the Sterilite bucket because that is a perfect size for scrapbook 12 by 12s. So I figured I would play a little bit here, which I have to say, and that was good. She has a video on using up wrapping paper. I love it. I mean, it's just one of those videos that is the inspiration where you can just run crazy with it. I love it. I can't wait to try all the things. And I know we're done with probably pretty much everybody's done with making their Christmas journals. I still have some that I've not completed, and I'm going to, you know, here and there through the year, I'm going to work on them so that maybe next year they'll go up in my shop, or maybe they'll be ready for Christmas in July. I don't know. But something I've always used, and I love using these, you get the money cards for Christmas, and I love using those. They're a great weight, some of them. I also like the envelopes that they come in. These are fun because this is like 3 pieces of ephemera. If you're doing a Christmas journal, you cut off the flap, there's one pocket. You can pull off this piece, separate this piece, and there is another pocket with a hole in it. You could put some acetate from packaging. You could leave it, so whatever you put in the pocket would show. And then you have this piece here that has the flaps, so it could potentially be a belly band, or I don't know, it might not be tall enough for a belly band. I have some papers here. Let's just see. not really tall enough for a belly band. But you could tear those off and make another pocket or back it because it's a pretty good weight, and, make a writing spot, or, stamp one side of it to make a writing spot. So many things to do with this. Collage one side like Anne did. She used packaging, and that's what I'm going to do. But I just thought I'd throw that out there, that I, of course, saved all of those from the kids. And, when I very first started, I'm like, keep your money holder. I want your money holder. And they're like, yeah, I bet you do, Grandma. No, you take the money out. I just want the paper it's in. I know they thought I was crazy. My grandkids don't, but my stepmom did have a look on her face like she thought I'd lost my mind. So I'm just going to grab some packaging here that I've cut off from different things and glue some of this paper down while we're chatting about our 2025 January junk mail challenge. And I tell you, you guys have such great ideas. You really, really do. So I'm probably going to say somebody's name wrong. I'm just going to say the first name of different ideas because, I don't know. It probably don't even want to be mentioned. But anyway, one of the ideas from Jill was, she said that Meg Journals is having a January junk journal challenge. And I did watch part of that, and it seems really interesting. If you are an organized person, or you like to, prompts and things, I mean, I would check it out. Seriously, it's a neat deal. She's done it, I think, for several years, and definitely would be something to look at. And I say organized because maybe it's not, but anytime there's, and I think the prompts are to help you, like if you're stuck and you don't, know where to go next or what to do, you use the prompts, right? And I get that. I really do. I think those are great. I am the type of person, and many of my friends can tell you this. I'll make stuff all day long. I love junk journaling. If you tell me to, if you tell me I really would like to have this and I want this and this, I'm done. I'll shut down. I don't know why. It automatically shuts off my brain and I can't process anymore. It's like it's not free flowing anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because like you're all of a sudden you're having to think on a certain topic or theme or whatever, and I just can't do it. I don't know why. And I'm not talking about her challenge. I'm talking about, I've making certain journals or a theme. I love themes as long as it's my idea. I know I'm crazy. But anyway, so I don't know why I'm inking this. I had in my mind I was going to do 3 master boards, not today, but at some point, because I don't know if I like the ones that are inked better or if I like the ones that aren't, do I want a mix of the two? And I think this time I'm going to do a mix of the two. So anyway, back to the challenge. Meg's Junk Journals. No, Meg Journal. Meg Journals. That is, check out her deal because it sounds like a really neat thing. And like I said, I don't think the prompts are to confine you, it's to help you. And like I said, my little mind, if it gets too organized and and it's a daily thing, but there are a whole bunch of creators that are doing it. So, ooh, look at this piece of tape. I'm gonna have to use that on something, right? It's a whole bunch of creators with lots and lots of ideas. I think it's wonderful, wonderful thing to do. So check that out. But anyway, Jill's suggestion was maybe I could somehow figure out a way to combine mine with hers, not like we would be doing it as a collaboration, but just like use those ideas, to try to focus. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying right now, to be real honest with you. But anyway, thought that was a good idea. And I did look at that challenge, and I think it's amazing. It's a whole month, and every day I think a different creator will post something, so it will give you different ideas if you get stuck. And then Noelle said, ooh, I liked that one. Her and Sandy kind of had the same kind of thought, was to work on the ephemera pieces through the week, take bits and pieces of your uh, junk mail and make things out of it. And then at the end of the month, or, as a finale kind of thing, make a whole junk journal out of just those things. I love that idea. And then Judith, she makes monthly planners out of hers. I think that's a great idea. What better way? If you were the type of person that kept a planner at, religiously, that's a great way. It would cost you nothing. You just take your junk mail, make yourself a planner for the next month. That's a wonderful idea. The kids don't get a lot of wrapping paper anymore. It seems like a lot of it is, money envelopes and things like that. But anyway, I thought that was a great idea to do monthly planners. And then Carol, I love her, and I love the way her mind thinks. I think she has the same mindset as me, because a true junk journal is just junk. Well, if you go to the secondhand store, now this is just, the way I believe, and I think Carol does too, and I'm sure there's others that think the same way. If you go to a secondhand shop and you buy fabrics or books or whatever, that was somebody's junk. They didn't want it anymore. So to me, that's junk. But I think that there are some that think, and gee, I don't think there's a wrong way to think about it. I'm just saying these are the different views, different ways of thinking about it. Some think that unless it's truly was in the trash or going in the trash, that's what's truly junk mail, or, junk journaling. So for my challenge, and maybe challenge is the wrong word, because the more I read about challenges, it seems like, they're a lot more organized than I want to be. I just want to do it for fun. I think I just wanted to have a monthly theme of sorts. Like, I would do a video once a week with my junk mail and make some things, and there would be some things that I keep in a basket for later on to either tea dye a big batch, or I have some ideas for, those papers that are printed on both sides and there's really nothing to salvage. I think we can salvage those. I think I have some ideas that we don't actually have to throw anything away. And that's, I'm sure not a new idea, because I know that just the things I've read, you have such amazing ideas. But anyway, my thought was, and I know there were more than just the ones I've mentioned, and I hope I haven't left anyone out, because I wasn't intending to do that. That's just the ones I remembered off the top of my head. And also, I, had some ideas of how I was going to do this, so I thought I would share it with you. Again, if I get too, I don't like rules, so there are absolutely no rules, except I hope that you have fun. A challenge makes me think there's something at the end, like you win something, and so that's why I think maybe a challenge is the wrong word, because there isn't anything at the end other than you get the benefit of the beautiful thing that you've made. Um, so what I thought was, because I don't have a Facebook group, nor do I want one, because the ones that I've dealt with this past year really left, there were some great ones, don't get me wrong, but there were some that kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. There was too many rules that, first, like I just said, I'm not a rule person. And second, those rules only seem to apply to certain people. So I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying that's why I don't like rules. Just I'm throwing those out the window. I don't need any rules. But if you want to do this, what I'll be doing is once a week, I believe, I'll make a video. And then I couldn't decide, okay, well, what day of the week are you going to do it? You know, because then I'm committing myself again. I am crazy that way. Anytime I got to actually set a time, everything gets all crazy in my mind. But I think it'll be on Sundays. Maybe that's a relaxing day for everyone, and they would have time at some point to gather up all their things. Maybe you gather them up during the week and kind of work on them, and then Sunday, you didn't, as something comes in, I'm sure you'd be like, ooh, I'm making that right now. Other things, you might just throw them in a basket and work on them and get ideas from everybody. But as I was saying, I don't have a Facebook group. I have Instagram, but I don't use it or know how. um, and it's not under the Crafted by Christy anyway. So what I thought was, I was talking it over with my grandson, who is 14, and he just seems to know more about computers than I ever will. What we thought was, and again, I know this won't be for everybody, but if you have an idea that you don't have a way to share, if you don't have a channel, and you don't have a Facebook group, so the hashtag wouldn't do you any good. My hashtag, by the way, is going to be 2025 Junk Mail Challenge. If you don't have a way to do that, you could email me, which my email is always in the description box below. You could email me your idea. If it's something that you would want me to show or do. Again, I'm not taking your idea. I would give you full credit for it. I'm just letting you know that's one way of getting your idea out there. If you don't want me to say your name, because I have had people tell me I want to be anonymous, and that's fine too. Let me know that as well in the email, and I will not say your name. But if you have an idea, or you've made something that you would like to be shown on my channel, we have kind of figured that out. If you can email me a picture, give me a brief description of how you made it, the things that you used maybe, I think that would be awesome. And so if that's the only way we could come up with to share your ideas, your thoughts, your pictures, your things that you make, if you don't have a way to show them, yourself, I could do it for you, I guess. Like, this would be a platform that you could, for this challenge, show your things. I don't know. Does any of that make sense? Does any of that sound like, I'm not really interested in that? Or would you just follow along and, make things? And a lot of you leave wonderful comments. I love the comments, because there's just fantastic ideas in the comments. Maybe you just want to do that and you don't want to email me. So anyway, I'm just throwing that out there. That's kind of what I had in my mind for the challenge. And then I thought, okay, am I going to start on January 1st? Because that's a Wednesday. I don't like to start things on Wednesday. I'm just really difficult, ain't I? Okay. So I think what I'm going to do is, on the first Sunday of January will be when I post my first video regarding what I've made with my junk mail for that week. And what I was saying about true junk mail, Carol said, you know, to her, and I believe the same, if it's something you got from an a secondhand shop, a resale shop, to me, that's junk mail. I think you use whatever you want. If it's brand new, you bought it today, use it. Because there are no rules. I was just trying to figure out a way to better use my junk mail rather than right now it's in a big box by the front door and I go get things out of it when I think of something to make. I thought maybe if I could stay ahead of it better, that would be fun. You know what I mean? Just to make things as I go along. So that was the purpose. That was why I wanted to do it. So I've made just 2 big tags here, it looks to me like. Anyway, where was I at? Okay, so on the first Sunday, I will post what I've done for that week. You know, what I've made, what kind of, and I won't make everything. I'll make some things in the video. Hopefully, I'll make some really cool things, and I'll have enough of the same kind of mail to make one on video. And I just want them to be quick. I don't want, you know, my mind is sometimes gets a little out there and I make things way more difficult than it needs to be. So I'm hoping like this, and came up with this, and I think, seriously, aren't these cool? I mean, they're just Christmas master boards, and I think, wow, why haven't I been using my Christmas paper this way? I love it. Anyway, see, I lose my thought train too easy. And then what I don't use during the week, I'm going to put it in a basket by my desk. And I'm going to save it to make a complete journal at the end of the month. I'm hoping, or like I said, do a big tea dyeing or, you know, RIT dyeing, blue tea, something dyeing. One of the ways that I was going to use up the papers that have writing on both sides is to tear it into strips where, you know, none of the information would be readable. And I'm going to put it in a bucket and I'm going to spray it. I'm going to crumple it all up and I'm going to spray it with distress inks. And then we're going to make collages and different things out of it. I think that will be fun. That was one of the ways I had to use papers that have writing on both sides. Things that don't have writing on both sides, of course, I'm going to use to dye in some way. Maybe rust dye, all kinds of ways to dye things. Let me know what you think of that idea. Again, I really don't want any rules. I think it's just for ideas to help us come up with more ways to do the things, you know. I know that I've done several videos on ways to use envelopes, and I love using envelopes. They're like one of my favorite things. And the junk mail flyers, I've done those too. But I think that, you know, through the years, we see something or we come across something, we're going to come up with even more ideas. And I think sharing them with each other will be fun. Let me know. And really, I inked part of it and I didn't ink part of it. And I don't know that you can really tell on this paper because it's kind of thin. But I think these would be good pieces to put a Tim Holtz. They're big enough. We could put a Tim Holtz thing in here. And I've already done that too, I think. A Christmas collage master board where I used some Tim Holtz pieces. But I actually didn't use Christmas paper. I used scrap paper, which I don't know why. I should have done that. Oh, back to what I was saying as far as what you can use whatever the heck you want to. I don't care. I think I may have said that, but I don't want you to think that when somebody shows a project, if it's, you know, looks like it's made out of all the digitals and whatever, be like, well, that doesn't fall along the junk mail. It doesn't fall along the junk mail, really. we're talking about junk mail, but you might use some of those scraps to alter your junk mail. And that's the thing too. I mean, for years now, I have a lot of digitals that I printed back in the day when that's all I did was print digitals, and I'd print the whole kit. I don't know why, and not use half of it. So I have things like that that I think would be fun to get rid of, even if it is on junk mail. You know what I mean? So all of that to say, I agree with Carol that if it's something I was going to throw away, which, okay, that's ridiculous. You know, I'm not going to throw that away. But if it's something I'm not using anyway, I'm going to put it on there. Now, the base of whatever I make is going to be junk mail, because that's why I'm doing it, to get rid of my junk mail. You don't have to do that. You know, again, you do what you want to do. It's not there's no rules. I just wanted to be real clear about that. So if anyone is interested in something like that, and you don't have a platform to use the hashtag and you want to email me, please feel free to do that. It will be in the description box below. Again, I'm going to start the first Sunday of January. I think it's the 5th of January is actually when it will be. So now I'm using scrap book paper and Christmas paper, and I just love this idea. That was really cute. I didn't even think about it. Isn't that crazy? All that paper, and I never even thought about it, to use it. All these years, wadding it up, throwing it away. And all the things I save, and I never thought to save my wrapping paper. So, Anne, thank you so much. And I think that's the purpose of this junk mail challenge. There are things that we do all the time. And even as junk journalers, I think some of the simplest things we forget. Hey, why aren't you using that? And again, you don't want to be a hoarder and use absolutely everything, but there's a lot of things that you can do with Christmas paper. And there's a lot. Well, one of the things I may do next year for the littles, by the way, out of the 4 handmade gifts I did, I would say 3 of them were a for sure hit. You won't believe who wasn't that thrilled. Jack. I don't think he could have cared. I think he could have cared less. And which surprised me, because he loves that kind of thing, for one. And for another, I worked so stinking hard on all the nasty spiders, and he just kind of looked at. The only thing he did say was the little notebooks with the spider stamped on the little closure. He said, "Ooh, I can take these to school." Okay. Well, okay. I mean, at least he got excited about that. So, anyway, my stepmom loved hers. Sophia really, really liked hers. She was carrying it still when I took them back. She still had a hold of it and was opening it again in the car. Maybe she was going to do some of it on the way home. But where I was going with that was, I think, well, I know Natasha Treasure Books has a video from a few years back that she does a lot of things with Christmas scrap paper. And one of the things she did was create a journal. It was laminated, and she made pockets and such. And I think, of course, like I said, I didn't really get a lot of, the kids didn't get a lot of wrapping paper. It was a lot of money cards. But I think if I had enough, when this is all said and done, when I get to go through it all, I'm going to create a little book like that for Sophia, because she really, really, really liked the sticker part. And I could do the little laminated book, fill some with stickers and different things, and I think she would like that. And look at that. Why do I do that? I glue it on the wrong stinking side. Ugh, gosh, I make myself mad. Well, that's okay. You know what? This will be a This will be a pocket, right? I wonder why I do that. Ugh, so ridiculous. So anyway, that's going to be a pocket now because a very crooked pocket. Look at that thing. What a hot mess. Okay. So I'm really going to have to put my mind to work at what to do for Jack because I don't know what kind of things for him. But, you know, I have a whole year to work on it, and maybe I actually will work on it and not wait until the last minute. Wouldn't that be nice if I did that? Yeah, I wonder if no, I'll make this a pocket. I was going to say a side tuck or a pocket. I'm going to cut out a little finger notch, but I can't find my, and I know it's in here because, believe it or not, my desk is actually pretty organized over here because of Anne's video. I really have been keeping it in that box. You know, something else I want to try, and I've done this, I did this in high school, and I don't know why lately, all of a sudden, I really want to do it again, is paper mache. I don't know what in the world I could make out of it for a junk journal. Maybe a cover, I guess. Paper mache cover. What do you think about that? I mean, that's what we could use some of our junk mail for too, couldn't we? Do something paper mache. That's still just as crooked as all get out. Well, you know what? I do have paper cutters. I have them for a reason. That's to, you know, cut things straight. Well, let's do this first because the end of it's not even straight. Okay, now, still not straight, but it's better. Gotta be careful or my thumb notch is not going to be center anymore. Okay, that's better. So just that quick, we have a pocket, 2 writing spots. I love that. I really do, Anne. That's a great idea. Not to mention all the different, if, you know, you had a whole bunch of different kinds of wrapping paper. These are just beautiful. Actually, I think got part of the tag in that one. That's okay. Love it. Love it. So much fun can have playing with that. So I hope you guys like that idea of the challenge. If you have some other ways that maybe we could do it, please feel free to let me know. That was just the only thing that we could think of, given, like I said, that I don't have a Facebook. You know, most people, even if you don't have a channel, you can hashtag whatever to Facebook and I can see it there. But I'm not going to create a Facebook group. I don't want one. I have no desire to do something like that. I just don't. So this is the book I'm using for it, for my junk journal. This was a traveler's notebook. I think I made this, I don't know, might have been a prototype I made for when I was doing the traveler's journals. That's another thing. When I was looking through my box or my drawer that has all of my prototypes that I kept or didn't come out, whatever. Sometimes if you make something and you think it's really bad or whatever, go back and look at it after a while. You won't even remember why it's in there. Why didn't I sell this or, you know, whatever? Because maybe you are too hard on yourself. I know that I am. Jurl, look, I can't even, this is why we have no rules. Look, so scratch that. For one, I write too fat to do that. Okay, so it's going to be hashtag 2020 2025 junk mail challenge. All right, that's what it's going to be. So if you do have a YouTube and you want to show what you have done, use the hashtag 2025 junk mail challenge. And if you don't and you have something, like I said, that you want to show, please feel free to email me or send me pictures or just send me your idea, and I will more than happily post it on my channel and give you full credit for it. If you don't want credit for it, tell me I don't want to be mentioned, and I'll just say it came from a viewer, and that will be that. I won't say your name, but I will say that it's not my idea. I just always feel bad about taking somebody else's idea if they don't, I feel like give credit where it's due. I should have said that Navy loves his blocks. He is actually in there playing with them now. They're all over the floor just waiting on me to come break something when I fall on them. And my stepmom loved it. She said, I made her a recipe book last year, and I was really unsure if she liked it. But this year, she said, I always like when you make me something. So I don't know. That made me feel good. And she's not, she's a wonderful, sweet, kind lady, but she's not she's kind of like me. She doesn't I don't know. She doesn't really carry on about stuff. And I do. She doesn't. I said she was kind of like me. That was a lie. Um, she, that was quite the compliment coming from her, in other words. So, not that she's a critic. Boy, this is all coming out wrong. Well, I'm going to just skip over that. We're just going to stop right there. Say she liked it. Navy loves his blocks. Sophia loved hers. Jack could have cared less. But it's okay. I'm not going to quit. I think there's a way that I can make him happy next year. Or for his birthday. They have birthdays coming up. I could always do something like that. I don't know. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. I hope that you guys will find this as a fun challenge and not, I know I said challenge. Ugh. Give me a different word to use. I guess it's too late. I already did the hashtag thing, didn't I? Anyway, Merry Christmas. Thank you guys for everything, for watching the great ideas, and I will see you next time. Bye.